got some cards, business cards. Well, they're not my business cards, but it's long stuff. And all you've got to do is think of somebody I can't know.
Can't possibly know.
I don't know. First name, and maybe even a place. A place where they are or where they reside. Write it down, but don't show me. First name plus a place.
Don't let anyone see it.
Okay.
Now, does anybody else here know? No? Have you ever heard of psychometry? So when you get a feel, let's just leave it there. If I put another card down, now, all you've got to do is mix them around face down like this, and the idea is, you shouldn't know which is which. I'll turn away. Do you understand?
Okay.
How do you know which is which now?
No.
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 Okay, so if I put two more down, mix them round.
Yeah, okay.
Now, do you know which is which now?
No.
Excellent. Okay. Let's put them out here like this. That's pretty random, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Put your hand over here. And just go back and forward. Keep going back and forward. Keep going back and forward. And when you feel an urge to stop, just stop. Excellent. Excellent. Do the same again. And stop when you're feeling it. Excellent. So, I'm hoping your psychic ability is tuning in here and there's nothing written on these cards. Now there's two left, okay? Just relax, and get a feel for one and put your hand on top of it. Excellent, that's the last one to go. This way. Don't look, don't look.
Oh.
Oh! So this must be the card. Obviously, look, obviously.
Okay,
Check it again, don't show me, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, why was that the last one that you went to?
I don't know. You told me to feel.
Exactly. I did tell you to feel, and other circumstances have been something completely different. But anyway.
Okay.
I want you to think of this
Yeah, you're
person.
right.
Yeah.
Hold my hand. And let me just touch the card for a second. Female. Someone who's very close to you. Is this person related to you?
Yeah.
Is this person obviously blood related? It's a female. Is it a sister? Okay. I'm not. The important thing is it's the blood. Just give me the relationship without telling me anything else. Mom. You was close. I want you to do me a favour.
Yeah.
I want you to get on an aeroplane in the future.
Yeah.
I want you to fly abroad
Yeah.
and land in a very exotic place.
Oh my God!
And I want you to see this person who's your mother in front of you. And you've got your bag and you're walking towards her. Mom, it's been so long.
Oh my God!
And say,
She's free.
Mom, I've come all the way to the Cayman
Ah!
Islands. Mum, and then say, Mum, there's a mad magician from Merseyside, and he says he really wants to meet you, Andrea.
Oh my God! She has a really
Okay, impromptu psychometry, great routine, and a routine that requires you basically to mark the back of one of 4 business cards. That is an easy matter to do. I take a pen, find a part of the card and simply make a tiny mark
which basically only I see. During the routine, the spectator should have no idea that the card is marked. In this case, I put a little tiny dot with the pen on the card there, and I can see that mark. If you haven't got a pen, oh, you need the pen to do the writing, but if you want to do this mark right in front of the spectator, and in fact on one of the downloads I actually did this, I just take my nail and I nick the corner of one card, which shows me exactly the card I need to be looking at. Again, it is imperceptible. Okay, so one card is marked. This explains how you are able to guide the spectator to the correct card. So that's as a recap, what happens as in the write-up. Basically, somebody thinks of a person and a place, and they write that down on one card. Of course, the card they write it on is the marked card. So they write down their person and place. Let's say, for example, Peter, and the place could be from, let's do San Francisco, seeing as that's my old stomping grounds throughout the 90s. So Peter from San Francisco. Okay, so they're writing that down. What you've got a stack of business cards in your hand. Now this applies to the routine fourth dimension, which is the last one in this book download, but it's just a very simple way of switching out this card that's been written on so you can do the routine. As in all mentalism, or most mentalism, you're trying to glean information from the spectator. You're gaining information without them knowing. So this is how you do it. You're very casual. They've written on the card, they're holding it, and you say, have you ever heard of psychometry? And they'll probably say no. And then you say it's when you sort of get a feel for an object or something. Now, as I'm saying that, I've got another business card in my palm. Okay? Palming is a card term for playing cards, card magicians. However, in this case, it's a mentalism trick. Without going into great detail, all you're doing is pushing one card over, and the hand, it literally just presses the card into the hand. I've dealt with this in other publications, but that's it basically. You're pushing that over and pressing it in. Now you've got plenty of time to do that because they're writing on that card. So what happens is you basically put your hand out like this, and very often they'll put the card back without anything, you know, without you asking. But then you say, have you heard of psychometry? Just put the card on there for a second. It's when you get a feel for an object. Now all I've done there is put this card on top of that pile. Where it's hidden there. Psychometry, timing. Have you heard of psychometry? It's when you get a feel for an object, and I put it straight back, I put that one straight back down. And in that quick, it's when you get a feel for an object, I've switched out the card. Now their written card is here, and they think it's here. Okay? So it's really quite a simple switch, but very, very effective. At the end of the day, it's all about them thinking that the writing is in one place when in fact it's in another. So once more time, that's palmed. Have you heard of psychometry? They put the card on there. It's when you get a feel for an object. So I felt that card there, I might be able to glean some information. That's the switch done. Then what I do, I take another card, not this card, not the card which is written on. I take another card and put it down. And then I say something like, well, obviously, you know that, I said, you know that this one is the one with your writing on. What I'd like you to do is mix them around so you don't know which is which. And I'll turn around. Now, of course, it seems like you're being fair, but you're doing the simplest thing ever. You're turning round and you're looking at the card with the writing on. You know, you can just slip that to the bottom if you like, and just turn round and just look at the bottom card and see Peter, San Francisco. Your back's turned, you've had a quick look, Peter, San Francisco, you come back, it's in your head. Now you add Peter from San Francisco, the card, with another blank card. So now the audience thinks that one of these two cards is the card with the writing on, when in fact you know it's this card and it's the marked card originally. So however much they're mixed up, you can keep an eye on that card. Now this is the marked card. I always tend to use this one here, which is second from my right or second from their left, if they're opposite. Obviously they're opposite. Oh no, what am I talking about? I tend to do it so it's second from their right. So if they're sitting here, it'd be here, okay? Now, this whole business about I ask them to put their hand over, this is all smoke, it's all smoke screen, it's all cover. And it looks good and it plays well, and especially when they seem to choose their own card. So, as I say in the write-up, I get them to put the hand over like this and to move it over the card and to settle on one. If they settle here on the card, now they don't on the video download, but 70% of the time they will settle on this one. It's just the way, I don't know why that is, it just is. I then slowly just take these away and turn them over. Well, that's not the card, that's not your card. Wow, that must be the card. So you've used your psychometry to find your own card with your information on. That's a trick in itself, just with the simple mark on the back of that card. Now, if they go to another card, you start using what's called a magician's choice. So say they stop here, I just say, okay, we're going to move that one aside. If they stop, say, here, again not on the card, I move that one aside and eliminate them. That leaves me two, and then in that case I'd say, now you've left yourself two cards, give me one. If they give me this one, I say that leaves this one with you, that's the card. If they push the card towards me, I say, okay, you sure you want to use this one? Okay, we'll use that one, and we eliminate that one. You see what we're doing here? Magician's choice is the pretense that they have a choice when they have no choice at all. Again, going back to the beginning, they could go like this, stop on this one, it's not, we eliminate it. Now, on the second one, if they stop on it the second time, this is how we get around that. I say, okay, I don't talk about elimination on the first one, and I say, touch that one, and I say, okay, so we're going to use these two and eliminate these two. And then we're back to the position with two, as before, okay? So it's just a way. It looks very fair because apparently you don't know, remember, which card is which anyway. So why should they be suspicious that you're forcing anything on them? So that's a trick in itself. Now remember, when they're left with their card, I had trouble finding the mark card there. So there's my mark. When they are left with that card, obviously I show these. Wow, well done. And then I always say, well, I take another look at the name and the place, and let's see if we can do something with that. So they take a look to reinforce what they already know. Peter, San Francisco, and that's when you use your best acting ability to tell them the information on the card. As ever with mind reading stuff, you know, you are an actor, so could you think of the first letter of the name for me? Is it a B? No, upside down. It's a P, right? Yes. Could you get, when you're doing the sort of the reveal and you're getting hits, it's more effective because it builds. And I'd even say, is this a city? Yes. Is it? I'm getting America. You see, I'm not just going straight into the information. Okay. You know, the cable cars, okay, and then eventually I just, you know, whatever I do, I always tend to end up by saying, well, you know, the next time you're in San Francisco, could you say hello to Peter for me? Wow, massive reaction. Remember, mentalism is about getting, or largely about getting information. Okay, getting information. This is one way of doing it. It's very simple but very, very effective. And again, this way of getting the information applies to the routine about the fourth dimension with the watch. So I will not be doing that, explaining that again in the video explanation for that routine. Needless to say, they write a time on one card and you add other cards to the mix, but you get the information in exactly the same way. Okay, so that's pseudo psychometry, and it is a great routine. Thank you.
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that that routine, impromptu psychometry. That's from my book, How to Be a Mentalist 4, from the series How to Be a Mentalist, which is also part of my overall series of books called McCoy's Miracles. And that's why I'd ask you to check out mccoysmiracles.com, where there are a series of books which all have a video performance and a video explanation. Maybe I should apologise about the camera work on the video you just saw. That was not a professional engagement. That was just a night out, and my friend was filming. But I thought the reactions were pretty great, so I put that in there. And that's what mentalism does. That's what all magic does if it's done well. So again, mccoysmiracles.com. There's a series of books, How to Be a Mentalist. There are a series of books called McCoy's Miracles, which are mainly card magic. And there are a couple of books called In Mind, which is pure mentalism again. And a couple of books, Spectacular Sleight of Hand Card Miracles. So there's about 13 or 14 ebooks in all. Very reasonably priced, I might add. Each book has at least 7 full routines, as I say, with video downloads and video explanations. I think it's a really great deal. I've been around for a long time. I don't know whether anybody knows me, probably don't, especially in the UK. I was many years in the States throughout the 90s and early noughties. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that, but I've been around a long time, over 40 years, as I say, practicing our art. Professional for about 24 or 5 years, 23 years. So I'm just trying to sort of, lots of my own ideas I'm just trying to put out there now, because I'm getting a bit old. So again, mccoysmiracles.com. A lot of the stuff is sort of original with myself, obviously with various themes which we all know about. But I think you'll get something out of these books and videos. As an added note, for any beginners, a lot of the stuff is for experienced magicians, but a lot of the mentalism could be approached by beginners, and certainly there are 2 books which deal with mentalism with playing cards from both the McCoy's Miracles and the How to Be a Mentalist series, which require no sleight of hand, or very little sleight of hand, and that could certainly be approached by beginners and novices, although the routines in all these publications, the routines are all very strong. So mccoysmiracles.com, have a go. Cheers.